Before this episode starts, I'm not even using my main microphone because it just happened right now. I just saw the Deadpool trailer before even the commercials were running or everything. Oh my god. I am so hyped for it. I'm not even going to say what happened. I will give you guys my reactions next week because I don't want to spoil it for y'all just yet. Go watch it. It's available. I just saw it on TikTok. That was like the first thing that showed up on my For You page. And I'm like, yes, that's how you know. Algorithm. But yeah, let's go ahead and get the episode started now.
I need a Scooby snack.
I'm sure Keanu Reeves will probably do a collaboration with Scooby Doo. As always, make sure to follow my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and X, and follow me at Lielers on TikTok. Lielers on TikTok. TikTok is still removing their music, and I had to change recently my Tobias yearbook picture slideshow that I have. It originally had Ghost's Kiss the Go Goat, and now I had to replace it with the slow version of Mary on a Cross. So it's still happening. Some people are probably like, oh my god, I'm okay now. Trust me, if you keep watching your videos on TikTok, you might see that some are still getting muted to this day. I still cannot believe Universal Music Group has like the rights for so many artists. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But so far, I have not posted anything still, again, for the same reason that, we're still getting all of that music removed. And I'm still trying to figure out, okay, if I upload a video, what's a good song for it? Because I originally had band members or, artists that I listen to on a daily basis, but they're just not out there. So I'm like, what do I do? But anywho, make sure to follow my social media accounts again. I am still active on there. I'm still uploading like either on my Instagram stories for sure. And I'm still keeping up with whatever's going on in pop culture. But yes, I am back as always on a Sunday. It is Sunday, as in Super Bowl Sunday. It's very, very hectic in Las Vegas. And I am glad I'm not there. I know Houston did host the Super Bowl like a while ago. I don't remember exactly the year, but I don't remember being it that hectic. But at the same time, I could care less about sports. But nah. But anywho, I have a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and get this show started. Obviously, we have a lot to cover, and we're always going to start off with movies. Apparently, the SAG AFTRA confirms that Pedro Pascal will indeed play Reed Richards in the new Fantastic Four movies, and I could not be any more excited for him. So, yes, I am going to be watching the new Fantastic Four movies, and I know I've talked about this in the previous episodes. I was not a fan of the recent remake that they did with Miles Teller, if I'm not mistaken. He was in there. That's probably like one of my most hated movies ever. Following with Happy Death Day to You. That was another horrible movie that I've seen, and I'm like, really? But yeah, no, I'm really excited that Pedro's gonna be here. Now, I'm still wondering if they're gonna be covering the multiverse. Are we getting John Krasinski? Speaking of John Krasinski, you're already like, oh god, no, what happened? So Ryan Reynolds posted on social media about his upcoming movie called If, which was written and directed by John Krasinski himself. Now, to make this even more funnier, apparently they pulled one of the many jokes that they had from The Office. If you have not done so, definitely go watch The Office on Peacock. But there is one joke, if you guys have not seen it, I'll just go ahead and describe it for y'all. But John Krasinski plays this guy, this character named Jim Halpert. And on one of the skits that he's done to where he's over there just playing more pranks on Dwight, also played by Rainn Wilson. Apparently Jim had to go to the dentist and they hired an actor of them. And the actor happens to be Randall Park. And just to make matters even more funnier, like, Dwight's over there like, you're not Jim. Jim's not Asian, and the guy's like, really? You never noticed? Well, hats off for you not seeing race, and so forth. So it became clear to Dwight, like, okay, he's not Jim. I don't know how he's getting like, his voice messages. How does he know about these cells, this and that, to the point that before the whole thing was over, he's like, you're not Jim, this is Jim. And he's holding up a frame from Pam, who, well, we'll just say Pam, but there's a frame that she has of them together with their kids. I'm hoping that I'm not spoiling the show for those that have not seen it. But and in there, it's like Dwight didn't realize what the picture had until he looked at it, and it's like, oh no, like he's already panicking. And it's Randall Park with, Pam and then Asian kids. And it's like, that's as far as the joke went. And I thought we never thought we would see that joke again until recently when Ryan Reynolds posted on social media that whole segment. And I don't know what they decided to do with their, like, what idea came to them. It's like, let's go ahead and pull this joke for the trailer. And Ryan Reynolds is over there starting the video and everything. And then next thing you know, we just see Randall Park come in and he's like, hi, and I'm John Krasinski. And Ryan Reynolds is like, you're not John. John's not Asian, It's like, you're Randall Park. And the joke just kept going even further because we see on the trailer they're giving us a behind the scenes as they're working through the movie, and basically trying to get the actors to get in the moment. In there, we literally see Randall Park the whole time. He's already like in his director's seat. They're giving him like the title on there, like John Krasinski, writer producer, and it just keeps going and going. And even Ryan Reynolds was there with Randall Park, as as Randall or John would be directing and giving him pointers of what they're looking for to bring the movie to life. And I'm just like, what the fuck? It was too hilarious. But yeah, no, definitely for me it was a must watch. It's on Ryan Reynolds' social media page. The comment section was also having it, and that's what I love about these videos. A lot of people were like not only laughing, but they were asking for either Dwight or Rainn Wilson. Like, they kept tagging him, like, say, do you have anything to say? Like, what the hell is going on? But it's so funny, like, because everybody was just going off for the joke, and I'm for it because, again, I watched The Office. Again, definitely go check out that episode. If not, just look it up on YouTube. It's there. Not only that, we have like more news on both Ryan and John, but let me go ahead and just focus on Ryan Reynolds for just a second. Rumor has it that Deadpool 3 is gonna be like releasing their either trailer or teaser trailer during the Super Bowl commercials. So yeah, I have no choice but to watch it because I love Deadpool. So yeah, that's what I'll be watching tonight, of course. I mean, I'm not going to be over there joining the bandwagon with all the Taylor Swift fans. I did hear, like, again, it's all over my TikTok feed, everything that had to do with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and seeing if, Taylor was going to make it for the game. And literally, I had an email. I don't know why, but the email said Taylor made it to Las Vegas and will be attending the Super Bowl. And the reason why is because she was actually performing in Japan, but she has a jet, so I'm not surprised because she's that rich. So anywho, but yeah, I will be watching the Super Bowl just for the commercial, and I'm praying and hoping that next episode we get to talk about the trailer itself. So I'm hoping it comes out. Anywho, but that was Ryan Reynolds. Now let me focus on John Krasinski. A Quiet Place movie is already coming out with, I guess it will be a prequel because it's called A Quiet Place Day One. And it basically just shows you a story of a new character that we have not seen and how she survives the monsters. And when I say that, if you guys have not done so, definitely go check out A Quiet Place Part 1 and 2. That actually was written and directed by John Krasinski himself and also features his wife, Emily Blunt. But this movie itself, I love how it's going to tell us how it all started, because the part 1 and 2, we're already jumping into the story maybe a couple of days, a couple of years later, and the whole world just went silent. But this movie that's going to be coming up, we get to learn how devastating it probably was whenever these creatures showed up to Earth, but also trying to see basically how people learn that these monsters are attracted to noise. So I'm definitely going to be watching that movie. I think they're also going to be releasing that same trailer at the Super Bowl commercial, but I'm like, why? It's already out there. So, anyhow. But yeah, that's on John Krasinski himself. Now, Dune Part 2 is already coming out, but the thing I want to focus on right now, and this showed up on my TikTok feed, and I'm trying to figure out what is going on behind the marketing team for this movie. Everybody's talking about their promotional popcorn buckets. If you guys have been to the movies, mostly in AMC, almost every big movie that has been released has like a promotional popcorn bucket or any other kind of theater merch. Now, for me, like the only popcorn bucket that I have was whenever Avengers Infinity War came out. And it's currently collecting dust. So that's how you know I don't collect those things. I eat popcorn at the theaters, but not at home. Anywho, Dune's popcorn bucket looks like a male sex toy, if you ask me. It looks like if you're like fisting your arm in there just for popcorn. And I'm just like, what? This account on TikTok by Flush Time called the popcorn Dunussi. Yeah, literally, because that's what it looks like. And there's also a clip, they're all interviewing the cast members of Dune, and they even asked them, like, what do y'all think about the popcorn bucket? And everybody was like, nope, except for Batista. Batista said that he was going all over there, putting his hand in there. And I'm just like, boy. But yeah, no, honestly, I think that one is going to be probably bought by people who wants to have a laugh at it. But again, me personally, I'm not into collecting popcorn buckets. I have seen so many. This one definitely takes the cake of just odd. But anywho, let's go ahead and move it along. It has been announced that Moana 2 is going to be releasing soon, literally on November 27, 2024. And me, I have not seen it. Don't freaking get at me for it. I haven't had the time. Then again, I was like, I don't know what told me I don't have time to watch Moana, and to this day I still haven't. Maybe I will, because I heard of a song from the movie itself, and it's like, it sounds catchy. Maybe I would, and to this day I still haven't. But since Moana 2 is gonna be coming out, I'm like, I guess this movie was good enough for it to have a sequel, so we'll see. Now, I also found out that there's gonna be a trailer also gonna be releasing during the Super Bowl. I swear, Super Bowl is gonna be having a bunch of movie trailers coming out, but one in particular is gonna be the movie Wicked. This one is the movie, they do like a Broadway musical for it, and I think there's a book for it as well. It focuses on the Wicked Witch of maybe the West or the East. I don't even know which one it is. I just know it focuses on the Wizard of Oz. So one of the witches for sure. This movie is also planning to come out on the same day that Moana is going to be coming out. So there is an account on X that actually posted on the platform itself by Javarka 1 million. And he said, quote, watch out, Barbenheimer, here comes Moaned. And I was like, wait a second, no, that doesn't, I will not be surprised if that's going to be a new, not trend, but more like a new anticipation movie where everybody wants to watch both Wicked and Moana too. So I don't know, that's going to be interesting, but the name itself is already hilarious. Speaking of these movie trailers that are coming out, this one is already out for us to watch because it's a very low budget movie, and you can tell just by watching the trailer. Winnie the Pooh horror movie gets a sequel, and I started laughing whenever I was watching it because literally you're seeing it, right? And then next thing you know, this big bold letter says Pooh is back. And I was like laughing the whole time. I was like, I cannot take this movie already serious. Really, why a horror movie would be like, Pooh is back? coming to a theater near you. See, I can't even do it. Anywho, but apparently now Winnie the Pooh is going to be having like a horror version of Tigger, Piglet, and Owl. And they're going to be joining him for a new slashing adventure. And apparently the sequel is called Blood and Honey. And it is planned to be released later this year. So stay tuned if they do announce it. I won't be surprised if it's going to be coming out like during Halloween season. So we'll see. Variety actually posted on social media stating that there's going to be an upcoming Jurassic World movie set to release on July 2nd, 2025, with Bullet Train's own David Leitich, I think I'm pronouncing it right, set to direct the movie itself. I'm over here like, hey, I thought we wrapped it up with Jurassic World Dominion, and I think it was good to wrap it up by there. What now is going to happen? I won't be surprised if they're not going to bring back Chris Pratt on this. They're going to maybe do a whole different franchise saying, oh, well, the monsters are out there in the world, this, and that. And we're going to see it at a whole different storyline with a new character. Kind of like what they did with Quiet Place. But we'll see. I'm a big fan of Jurassic World no matter what, or even Jurassic Park. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to watch the movie just out of the hell of it. But I'm praying and hoping it's just not as bad as Fallen Kingdom. I hated that movie. I think the storyline made no sense. I mean, part of it did, but there was a little part of that movie that just made me cringe after that. And I was like, no. I think that one was the worst. I loved all of the Jurassic Park movies and Jurassic World 1 and Dominion, but that's it. So we'll see how this one will go. Anywho, James Cameron stated that he had Avatar 6 and 7 planned, but may not be able to direct them because of mortality. If you think about it, you know, these two movies may not debut until 10 years from now. He's already going to be retired, so he won't be able to have much say, but at least he'll get credit for written at least. But we're still waiting for Avatar 3 to come out since Avatar 2 was a great success. And then yet we still have 4 and 5 pretty much coming out when 2030 comes in. So yeah, but I don't know how much more, because he says 6 and 7. I'm like, how much more is this whole timeline is gonna go? Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if 6 and 7 are going to be like prequels. Oh, God, no. I think after that, it would just kill the franchise. But then again, it is James Cameron. He has a history of a lot of good movies, so I'm hoping he doesn't make that mistake of killing the Avatar franchise. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm ready for Avatar 3. Anywho, that basically wraps up for the movie sections. Let's go ahead and talk about TV. If you guys have not known, Knuckles is getting its own spin-off series on Paramount Plus. Idris Elba is still going to be voicing the character, and there will be at least 6 episode series that are going to be all released on April 26, 2024. I can't wait to watch it. I'm still waiting for Idris Elba to say, "Show us the way." And I think he did say it in the Sonic 2 movie, but I'm like, no, say it right, you know, show us the way. But anywho, I can't wait to see it, and I guess I'm gonna keep Paramount Plus just a little bit longer. Other thing is, I did mention on, I think 2 episodes ago, that Daredevil Born Again is going to be filming, and it is already in the works, and we finally got to see how the suit is going to look. And so far, it's been giving me Deadpool colors, and I'm like, I mean, it's not a shocker that people confuse Daredevil with Deadpool, but then again, Deadpool can see, and Daredevil is blind, so I don't know. But that one is a very anticipated show, so I cannot wait to see it. Of course, after watching Echo, which again, you guys definitely need to go watch it, you will be a little bit more hyped for Daredevil Born Again. So I can't wait. HBO is actually developing a Game of Thrones series focusing on Aegon's conquest. And I'm like, no. Before you even start developing, let me go ahead and get Jon Snow's story already. Like, I've been waiting for that series for quite some time. I mean, Game of Thrones ended what, 2019? Was it in 2019? Yeah, it ended in 2019, and it's sad. Almost everything good ended in 2019, and then next thing you know, pandemic started. It's crazy, but yeah, I can't wait to see it. It's basically just a prequel of everything now of Game of Thrones. What's up with everybody focusing on prequels? I think that's what I've been covering for both movies and television series. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. All right, but yeah, that covers movies and television, I need to talk about the Grammys right now. So let's go ahead and focus on music. The Grammys was last week, and I did mention that I wasn't planning on watching it because almost all the categories that I've been looking forward to was not going to be televised. And I'm like, ugh. And we need to talk. There's some shit that happened in there, and I'm like already getting pissed just thinking about it, but I do need to say it. Unfortunately, Ghost did not win for Best Metal Performance. The winner went to Metallica's 72 season. And just like Eminem said, the Grammys just pick who they like. That's why Eminem does not show up in the Grammys, because he already knows it's like he's just wasting his time. And I love that he's so real about it. But besides the fact that, Ghost didn't win, that did not stop Tobias Forge from making his appearance with his Papa 4 hairstyle, along with the skeleton button-up shirt that everybody started sending me links to, like, oh, you can buy it, or this is what it is. And I was like, okay, I'm not buying it, but it looks rad. Slipknot members also made their appearance, including Jay Weinberg. Awkward. I mean, to be honest, Jay did deserve to make his appearance since he did contribute to Hive Mind. All members except for Jay showed up with their masks. Jay was not photographed with Slipknot. He was actually photographed individually. He actually came with his wife. For the rest of the Slipknot members, Kelly Osbourne showed up to accompany Sid Wilson, because, baby daddy. I don't know if they're married, but I know baby daddy for sure. And because of her appearance, it had almost every celebrity tabloids just focusing on the couple themselves, which is good. Put some Slipknot publicity on there. Some of them was like Hollywood Reporter and E! Entertainment. One of the other things that kind of shocked me was like when I went on my Instagram and then BBC was talking about the Grammys, and I don't know what gave me the encouragement to keep swiping on the pictures that they posted. They showed up B-Man's picture on there, and I'm like, B-Man on BBC? What? But hey, I love it. Now, besides Kelly Osbourne, one person in particular that was also joining Slipknot was none other than Paul Gray's daughter, October Gray, all grown up and looking just like her dad. It warmed my heart, of course. I know they're still there, taking care of her and, still honoring Paul's legacy, because, the last time they won a Grammy, Joey and Paul were there. So it's nice to see that. I mean, unfortunately, they did not win the Grammy as well. But again, I wasn't rooting for them because Hive Mind was just not it. Another thing that I also noticed that, after Metallica winning the Grammy and everything, Spirit Box kind of had some shade up to talk about on that. And they were saying, well, something about like, oh, maybe they'll win a Grammy when they're playing metal at 80 years old or something. And I'm just like, maybe that's why you guys are not going to win Grammys. I noticed the trick of who the Grammys pick. And this is where I need to I need to talk about. Like, back to the whole thing with the Grammys. You can tell the Recording Academy just, like, they prefer to, like, spotlight all the pop singers, musician, anything that's well known, clean, and all of that. Forget metal, forget rock, forget even Mexican music. Why do I say that? Okay, let me talk about Metallica for a bit again. So when Metallica won the Grammy, Rob Trujillo went to go accept the Grammy because everybody else was, not in town. They were in there with their families, this and that. And when Rob got the award, as he was walking to the stage, the band in the background was, or like the orchestrated band was playing Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train. And I'm like, really? Come on. Like, Metallica's like a bunch of great songs. You could have like played either For Whom the Bells Toll, Enter Sandman. But Ozzy Osbourne, a whole different person, But I don't think that's what cringed me at all. Okay, that was Metallica, right? I mentioned Mexican music earlier. Now, this one was not televised. They did televise another thing, but still. I think for me, it was whenever they were announcing the category for Best Música Mexicana album. And in there they had like I think Ana Barbara. They had a bunch of Hispanic artists. And of course, the person who won the award was Peso Pluma. Peso Pluma is like an up and coming artist. He's like the next Bad Bunny. I say that because like his music is now the new Mexican style music that they have. I don't even know what you call it. It's like, it's not even corridos. Anywho, some of you guys are like, what is she talking about? Anywho, this is what I'm trying to tell you. So when Peso Pluma, his style of music is different. Let me go ahead and play something for y'all so y'all can understand what it is. And then he won the album, or he won the Grammy for, you know, the category and whatnot. You know what they played? They played freaking La Niña Fresa by Banda Zeta, and it's a complete category. This is what it sounds like. Yeah, completely different than what Peso Pluma freaking sings or, you know, performs. So I found that very, very cringe. Just homeboy walking up the stage and then doing that. But still, that's how you know, like, the Recording Academy just doesn't know anything about music. So why even have the say who gets to win a Grammy? Like, it's just sad. Anywho, but I mean, they kind of did Karol G justice. I mean, she was at the fucking main reception, like tables and everything. So I'm like, I guess. And they were playing her actual music in the background, in the speakers, whatever it is. They didn't need an orchestrated band. They can just do that. Why didn't y'all do that in the non-televised reception? You know. Anywho, but I'm just gonna go ahead and stop talking about the Grammys before I get pissed off. My TikTok feed is also giving me a new level of rave concert, which is 3D visuals. I think the most talked about is Excision's Angry Shrek. Literally, like you see on the screen, he looks all happy, but at first, and then until the main beat that they have starts like turning it to a whole different move. It's like where you're raving, you're losing your shit, and all of that. Well, Shrek is also losing his shit. He becomes angry and then starts bursting these flames from his nose to his ears. And then afterwards, you kind of hear like Blue Oyster's Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper kind of melody. And then all you see is this big, humongous Shrek come from the bottom and then eats tiny Shrek. And then literally this big ass Shrek looks like he's coming at you. Like he looks like he's coming out of the street, like he's coming out of the screen ready to just like bite people's head off. But still, it looks cool, it looks interesting, but why is it in my TikTok feed? And I keep getting like different angles from it. I'm getting the close-up angles, the side angles, and even from afar where somebody probably has like either a Samsung or an Apple and they're just like zooming all the way in. And then, you know, as you see Big Shrek coming out, they zoom all the way out and you can just see the whole crowd. I mean, it's pretty cool if you ask me. Now, that kind of wraps up music. Let me go ahead and start talking about gaming. Remember how I mentioned like a while ago when the Florida Joker started suing Rockstar for, I guess, using his image and he was seeking money? Well, apparently he dropped the lawsuit and it's now asking to voice the character for maybe $50,000 or $100,000. I highly doubt that's going to happen, but I'm like, boy, no, just leave it alone. If Rockstar really wanted you, they would have asked. But again, they already know how to play the books, you know, before this is their sixth game. Very, very anticipated. If they wanted you, they could have. So if they don't, obviously move along. You're not going to get any compensation for that. Another thing I also found out, this is rumored. I don't think it has been confirmed. Some people are talking about it on my TikTok feed, and I'm just like, let me go ahead and say something. PSP and PS Vita fans, we may be getting a new portable PlayStation console. Honestly, I think that's what I need. Portable consoles are the future. Nintendo Switch will finally have some competition, if you ask me. Like, I think for us, like, we're tired of just like sitting in front of a big ass screen when we could just be laying down and playing games, you know. Of course, we no longer see like the Nintendo DS, 3DS, and all of that because it is small screen. But like the Switch really changed the game, if you ask me. So if PlayStation were to make a new portable console, I'm all for it. Rumor has it again that maybe all the PS4 and PS5 games are going to be available for that console itself. And I don't think you're going to be able to play like, like downloading. You can play through the cloud and you will have enough, I guess, storage. You don't have to worry about storage, how much data you can download when everything's going to be on the cloud. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because some people may not even have internet to play like online. I would say Xbox, step up your game, but there is another thing that I also heard. Rumor has it that Xbox games are going to be going on PlayStation now. And people are wondering, maybe this is it for Xbox. Like this whole, Xbox Series S and X are probably going to be the last consoles that they will make and then make that merge with PlayStation. But we don't know. Phil Spencer posted on X, quote, "We're listening and we hear you. We've been planning a business update for next week where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision and the future of Xbox. Stay tuned." Like, I'm telling you, like, I feel like, again, if people are wondering, oh my God, no, Team Xbox or Team PlayStation, at this point, it's not even who you're going for. What games are really available for each of the consoles? I mean, they have their own, of course. I think Xbox was almost pushing forward to dominating the whole gaming industry because they acquired like people like Activision, Blizzard, and even Bethesda and all of them. But I feel like, the games that are coming out are still not catching our attention. And of course, Rockstar, it hasn't chose sides. They're going to have it available on, either or console. I don't think they have it announced if they were going to have it available on PC, but that's a whole different conversation. Now, other than that, I feel like, again, the gaming industry really do need to step up their game when it comes to video games. And I feel like this could have helped Xbox even more. But at the same time, I'm like, acquiring licenses of video games are probably not a good strategy. They could have just said, hey, this is what we're looking for video games. Make it exclusive to Xbox, whether if it's Halo, Gears of War, all of that, could have had an interesting story, but now it's going to be available on PlayStation. It's good for the consumer, though. Like me, like I'm like, okay, I don't have to have multiple consoles so I can play whatever game I want. This is how outdated I am. And I've told you guys before, and I'll tell you guys again. I don't have the PlayStation 5. I don't have the Xbox Series S. I still have the older generation ones. I have the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X, the black version, of course. And then, of course, I have the Nintendo Switch. I don't even freaking play Xbox and PlayStation anymore. I only play the Switch. That's it. That's the only thing that entertains me. But for the same reason that I feel like these portable consoles are going to be the next thing. I can't wait. Of course, everybody's like focusing on the new Apple Pro Vision and all of that, where you can do whatever you want with the side of your eyes. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna be doing that laying down. My arms are gonna obviously get tired, but I don't think Nintendo's gonna have it for Apple. I don't know. I feel like the Vision Pro is gonna be like a major distraction, especially when you're driving or God knows what. But again, that's a whole different story on there. But those are my 2 cents on Xbox. For me, I feel like it's good news as a consumer. It's just bad news because, again, it might be an end of an era. And I know I talked about this just now on Nintendo, but still, this is Mortal Kombat news. Peacemaker is coming to Mortal Kombat on February 28th. Are they trying to become the next Super Smash Brothers for Xbox, maybe, or even PlayStation? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not into Mortal Kombat. I mean, I play it. Obviously, I played it since I was a child. But that's it. I'm like, I like adventure games. I like to get lost in games. Obviously, that's why I love Fallout. And, obviously GTA, because you get to get lost and, pretend like you're in the game, but really you're not. Those are, well, besides Doom, too. I love Doom. So that's why I'm like, yeah, no. Those are my 3 top favorite games. But still, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really big on Peacemaker coming and making its entrance on Mortal Kombat. But then again, people are still going to be playing it. So there's that. But yeah, that basically wraps up gaming news. Now let's talk about wrestling. I have a lot. And I think we're just going to go ahead and kick it off with Cody Rhodes. That's probably like the elephant in the room, if you ask me. WWE finally hurt the fans. And I mentioned this in the last episode. The fans were going crazy on social media talking about hashtag we want Cody, hashtag, Cody deserves better, whatever it is. Cody needs to finish his story, all kinds of things. But it was all focused on Cody Rhodes himself. Now, when he showed up on Monday Night Raw, everybody was like, obviously wanting justice for Cody. And even Michael Cole acknowledged that whole situation, like, the most talked about person this past week on social media. And I'm glad that, WWE was monitoring the negative comments because, again, it wasn't just on their account. It was on everybody's account, like wrestlers, like the other third-party apps, like, WWE on Fox or, WWE Deutschland, all of those social media platforms were getting spammed with hashtag we want Cody. Now, because of this, fans were obviously upset that we were going to be getting Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania. They were going to be headlining it, but also keep in mind, WrestleMania is 2 days. It's going to be like, I'm not saying it's 2 days away. It's going to be a 2-day event. And they already said it. And I'm just like, we could have gotten either or. But they really wanted Cody and Roman. I mean, I guess. And I want to say it was probably like one of the things that like WWE was probably strategizing on because they were also promoting the WrestleMania 40 kickoff event. I don't even know if they're going to have a kickoff when the event actually starts, but this kickoff was to finally answer our questions. And I'm telling you, when I watched it, the drama was so good. Obviously we saw, people showing up, Becky, Rhea, all of that. But at the very end, we had Seth Rollins come in, and then afterwards Roman Reigns showed up. And the things that they said to each other was kind of brutal. Me, honestly, like, I forgot that they were, acting. Like, this literally looked like real for me. That's what I love about them. But then The Rock showed up and he started talking about, him and Roman's family. Then Cody came out and finally addresses the whole situation. Obviously, he went and said, "Hey, Roman, I pick you." I had a comment for that too. But because of that, then next thing you know, Roman started, talking shit, of course, like he always does. But then he started talking shit about Cody's dad. And Cody was like, you should not have said that. Because he's like, Roman, you want to talk about family? Let's talk about yours. Where's Jay? And then he's addressing the whole situation where Roman kicked out Jay from the bloodline. So it's like, that's a whole different drama. And because he said that, it ticked off The Rock the wrong way. And now we're having this whole beef. And I'm telling you guys, I've said it before and again, I'll say it again. I cannot take wrestlers who become actors serious. I cannot take The Rock serious. I cannot take John Cena serious. Even Batista, I cannot take him serious. Why? Because I can see that they do it now for a living. You could tell like, oh, they're just selling it. But this whole situation that just happened made me forget that I could not take The Rock serious, because The Rock shows up, then they start swearing and shit, and I'm over here like, language, like kind of like what Captain America said. and it wasn't just them two. Rock started throwing profanity, Seth started throwing profanity, and I'm like, again, shit was off the bat. Like, I'm like, forget about what they say, like, oh, wrestling was fake and all. That shit felt real. And then, like, after that whole segment, of course, The Rock ended up slapping Cody, and then, Papa H, Adam Pearce, and Nick Aldis all intervened, trying to separate all of them and all of that. And, afterwards, Papa H is over there getting his interview, and you see Rock and Roman in the back. And then Rock comes in towards Triple H, obviously. I keep calling him Papa H. He goes up to him and says, "Fix this." And I'm like, don't tell Papa H what to do, man. I'm like, I get it. You're an actor. You're one of the highest paying actors, but, don't say that. And then SmackDown showed up on Friday, this past Friday, and Papa H is over there, minding his business, and he confirms that Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns will happen indeed, and it doesn't matter what people say, meaning that he was referring to The Rock. Then Paul Heyman shows up, and Paul Heyman was like about to say, hey, no, it's not gonna be that's not gonna happen. Tribal Chief can't allow it, this, and that. Or he didn't get to say that. We kind of sense it though. We sensed that he was gonna say it, and then Triple H looks at Paul Heyman saying, "What do you want?" And Paul Heyman was like, never mind. I'm gonna let my Tribal Chief and The Rock tell you what they want next Friday. So now we gotta wait to see what that's gonna happen. Now you can take however you want. I did say Cody did not mention on the last episode where he was giving his Royal Rumble opportunity to The Rock. He just said, "Look, this is who you're gonna compete with," but he wasn't giving it away. But now, because Roman decided to talk shit and whatnot, obviously Cody Rhodes has no choice but to choose Roman for the WWE Undisputed Champion or Universal Champion, whatever. It has so many names, And I forgot to even mention, even CM Punk was like saying that he wants to see Cody beat the crap out of Roman, but he's like, Valentine's Day came early or something, because everybody is like, I choose you, and I'm like, yeah, you're kind of right on that one. I did say in the last episode too that there's also a possibility that this all may be a triple threat match, because we've seen it before 10 years ago, and I think Triple H was in another triple threat match for a championship. I don't know when exactly, but 10 years ago, with WrestleMania 30, we had another main triple threat match, and that one consisted. So WrestleMania 30 was the one where, Triple H went up against Daniel Bryan, and if Daniel Bryan were to win, he was going to be inserted to the triple threat match between Randy Orton and Batista for the undisputed, I guess, WWE Heavyweight Champion. And, Daniel Bryan won. It was a triple threat, and then Daniel Bryan won the 2 belts. So I'm like, okay, Triple H had partake on that. And then now it's like Triple H is now behind the scenes. He is CCO, the Chief Content Officer. So he gets to say, like, okay, this is what's gonna happen for the matches at WrestleMania. So I'm like, it won't be a surprise or a shocker to me if it becomes a triple threat. However, there's also a possibility that, it might just be Rock. There might be a possibility that it might be Roman versus Cody Rhodes, and The Rock being ringside, and that's gonna be an iffy situation. This person posted on TikTok. His handle is Padrino Wrestling. He said, if Roman has Rock on his corner, who will be in Cody's? And then the next slide, it just shows Vin Diesel, saying like for family. But then again, on the comment section, somebody did also say, what about Dustin? Or some of y'all know him as Goldust. Like that's his actual brother. And then if that were the case, it will bring the actual bloodline story as true as it is. So it's gonna be, the Samoan bloodline versus the American Dream or American Nightmare, however you guys want to call it, bloodline, or family roots, however it is. But me, honestly, I will be pissed off through the roof. Forget the Grammys. I swear to God, if WrestleMania 40 comes in, it's gonna be Roman versus Cody. And I'm gonna be hella pissed if Rock or even Solo Sikoa or even, Jimmy Uso, I highly doubt he will interfere. but them two will actually show up and then cost the match for Cody Rhodes once again. And it's like that. I think for us, we're already fed up with it. That, Roman cannot wrestle by himself without the help of his family members. It's already like pissing me off, and I'm just like, what's new? But at the same time, it's like Papa H is a good booker. There's a possibility that WrestleMania 40 will indeed gonna be the place where Cody Rhodes finishes his story. I just still can't believe he's going after this belt and not the WWE Heavyweight Champion. And now we got to figure out who Seth Rollins' challenger is going to be. And that's going to be for Elimination Chamber for them to decide. They're going to be deciding, literally, we already know who are the challengers for the SmackDown brand. We're trying to figure out the Raw brand now. We need to figure out who Seth's opponent is going to be and Rhea Ripley's. So it's like, oh God, now I got to watch it. And it's going to be next week, I want to say. So stay tuned whenever it does come in. And yes, I will be talking about it and putting my theories about it. So I cannot wait to see how it's going to be. Besides all that drama, they also did announce on the kickoff that there's gonna be a new WWE series that will be streaming only on X, unfortunately, called WWE Speed. Now, we've seen this series happen after SmackDown's live programs and fans were trying to understand the whole concept of it. Supposedly, I think the match is gonna be like they're going at a certain time limit and they're supposed to beat the clock by pinning or submitting to their opponent. I don't know what it is, but it's only gonna be streaming on X. And I'm over here like, WWE is collaborating with Elon Musk now. Oh God, what else is next? Now, I do have some sad kind of upcoming news. I just found this out last night. Apparently Maurice, also known as Mrs. Wife, announced on social media that she has like this pre-cancer diagnosis on the ovaries for her. And she posted like a series of screenshots of telling the story of what really happened whenever she discovered that whole thing that was going on with her. Apparently she's been having like some kind of pains that she's been trying to figure out what it is. And she stated that she has been going to so many doctors and no one could find like the diagnosis that she had. They probably thought that she was fine. She's okay, just to go through the pain. But that did not stop Maurice from trying to figure out what was going on. She listened to her body and realized this is not normal. She's going through something and she will not stop until she gets the results that she needs. And she shouted out the doctor that helped her out, and they basically took like a few samples, and she actually, Maurice posted the picture of the after how she looks afterwards. And when the test came back, it turns out that there was some kind of tumor for like the rare disease that she had. So because of that, obviously she's glad that she caught it, because if the tumor got worse, she probably would have passed in less than a year. And that's something everybody does not want to hear. And so the good thing is that they caught it, and now she's going to have to go treatment with it where she might get her ovaries removed and other things removed just to prevent from the tumor from spreading. And, obviously she thinks that, hopefully there's a guardian angel that was watching over her, and she's like thinking it's her dad that gave her all of these warning signs, but primarily also saying that, hey, as a woman, and that goes to everybody, as well, but mostly for women, it's like it's really hard to find the care that you need, because sometimes most of the doctors are males and they don't understand the women body system and everything. And it's always good to listen to all of the troubles that you may have that's going on with your body. I obviously suffer from PCOS, meaning I can't have kids, but that's my dilemma, and obviously I know how to treat it. I'm just too lazy to treat it. But it's always good to get checked up. I didn't know I couldn't have kids. I thought I was healthy as a horse, whatever it is, but I know I'm not. But when I went to the doctor, I went to an all female facilities and everything ran by women, and I feel like for them to tell me like, hey, you have PCOS. It gave me a peace of mind. I thought I was, I was like infertile or something, but they're like, no, you're fertile, but you just gotta lose a ton of weight. And I'm like, let me live first. But yeah, and with Maurice's situation, it was more like, okay, something's wrong with me and I need to find out why. It's like, it's good that she didn't listen, and it's good that, if you're going through something painful, find the treatment, find what it is, and not say go through the pain. It's never a good thing. And I know it's a tricky conversation because a lot of people are probably like, I don't have health care, this and that. There's other ways, but at the same time, it's like, it's always good to just not live through the pain. I know some people are like, it's like, no, the pain is good, beauty is pain, this and that. No, no, it's not. But I'm sending obviously well wishes for Maurice. Obviously she does have two beautiful daughters with the Miz, and it will be very sad and unfortunate if she were to be gone. Like, she needs to see her daughters grow up, and the daughters obviously need to see her mom by her side. So obviously best wishes for Maurice. Send good vibes to her, and we're praying and hoping that everything goes well with her, so that way she can go back to her normal lifestyle, with the Miz. But yeah, at least she had her kids, and now she doesn't have to worry about, oh, I can't have kids, this and that. I know they used to joke around where Miz wanted like to have like a whole family, like of multiple kids, but most particularly he wanted a boy so bad. But it's okay, we can settle for girls. Girls are gonna be the ones that can carry the legacy too. Never doubt us. But anywho, let me go ahead and move it along with AEW. So it was said, even this was before the WrestleMania 40 kickoff show. So obviously AEW was live on Wednesday. The kickoff was on Thursday. But Tony Khan said that he had a major announcement during AEW Dynamite. And again, this was posted on social media beforehand, and the comment section was having it. I was laughing for it. Like, a lot of people were just saying Cody Rhodes will compete for the AEW championship and finish his story. Another person was like, Cody Rhodes is all elite. And I was like, I love y'all. But unfortunately, it wasn't that case, and I actually tuned into AEW just to see what this whole commotion was about. I was actually thinking, oh my god, something like he's probably gonna tease like maybe a new signing, like a new wrestler coming, God knows what. No, not at all. Homeboy, like, you can actually see Tony Khan's eyes. He's over there reading from a teleprompter, and I'm like, really, boy? But he's over there announcing this event that's going to be coming up on March 13th, where they will be having AEW Big Business. And I'm like, really? I was not feeling the name for it. It was not my cup of tea. It was unnecessary to say major announcement, but hey, it's Tony Khan. He gets to do whatever he wants in his show, right? But if you think about it, and I'm surprised a lot of people are not like pinning to some of the things or some of the theories. Eventually, though, as the event is going to come up, I think some people are going to start coming up with their theories. But I already have some, so listen here. Could y'all notice that the fact that this event is going to be taking place in Boston, Massachusetts? Do y'all know who is from Boston? And I'm not saying John Cena, because he's from West Newbury, Massachusetts. But, whenever they're in Boston, it's like, oh, hey, there is somebody that's actually from Boston. And kind of related to that whole business gimmick. Who I might be talking about? Mercedes Money, maybe? Anywho, stay tuned for that. But I'm definitely going to be watching it. We'll see. I don't know. Honestly, though, if Mercedes were to come back, she would probably end up going to WWE. But then again, with that whole salary expectation, that might not be the case. But anywho, with that being said, that wraps up this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, make sure to follow my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and X. And follow me at Lielers on TikTok. Lielers on TikTok. Of course, I'm getting prepared to watch the Super Bowl, unfortunately. And it's not because of Taylor Swift. I'm watching it because of the damn commercials. I don't even give a shit about the halftime show. Honestly, I'm just really rooting for that Deadpool 3 trailer. I cannot wait to see it. I'm praying and hoping it's going to be as good. As soon as they release it, I'm probably going to be watching that trailer over and over again. Kind of like the one with Bob Ross and Deadpool. That one was my favorite, if you ask me. But yeah, I'm excited. If you, again, me, I could care less about sports. I am not for it, and usually because of one word and one word only, bandwagoners. So don't ask me anything. I don't know anything about, who is it? The Chiefs and the 49ers? I remember one time, I think it was I don't even know what Super Bowl it was, but I want to say it's the one with the Buccaneers. I want to say I know I mispronounced the group name. I think I wanted to say I'm saying Buccaneers, but I think I've said Buchaners one time. And my ex at that time, he was like all pissed off, like, really? Why are you mispronouncing it? I'm like, because I don't pay attention to sports. I'm like, last time I checked, I thought Tom Hardy was a part of a football team, but it turns out it was Tom Brady. I don't, that's how you know I don't pay attention to sports. But because of this whole fandom with Taylor Swift, I know who Travis Kelce is thanks to Swifties. So, yeah. Well, Swifties and TikTok. So, there's that. And I think everybody's going to be rooting for Taylor Swift's team or boyfriend's team, the Chiefs. So, I'm over here like, I would not be surprised. But then again, it's football. It's not the Grammys. It's not like who gets to choose who wins at the Super Bowl. Unless, let me find out, Super Bowl or the NFL is also like the WWE. Mind blown. But anywho, yeah. That wraps up this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will talk to you guys on the next one.